James, game week 2 is in the books. Let's have a look at how we did on our predictions. Game
Oh,
1, 8 points each. I managed to keep my 8 points for game week 2, but you got 6. We both got Forest, Sheffield United right, and I will say to anybody who's been paying close attention is going, hang on a minute, James had Sheffield United winning that one 2-1. He misspoke. He texted me. I have the proof. I let him change it, and he got the correct score on that one. I was also able to pick up the correct score, Liverpool Bournemouth 3-1. I also, James, picked up points on you with the Man City Newcastle result. And that was it. Yeah, those were the 2 points. The correct score for Liverpool, Bournemouth, and Man City, Newcastle. Apart from that, points shared across the board. So, totals at the moment. I'm on 16 points. James is on 14, heading into game week 3, just off the back of that narrow, potentially slightly nail-biting Arsenal win in London against Crystal Palace. James, I'll let you do the honours of going first. Chelsea versus Luton Town at Stamford Bridge after the 3-1 loss to West Ham. What are you saying about Chelsea right now?
it wasn't bad. And again, Jack, as I said, I actually tweeted Jack straight after this that, man, as soon as Chelsea can learn the way how to actually score goals, Jack, they could be honestly a terrifying side. I just got to fix my camera here. They're going to be a terrifying side to play against because, Jack, everything was great.
Yep.
Everything was great bar the final third. The fact that they missed the penalty, had a whole bunch of chances. Sterling was fantastic in that game. But when you don't take your chances, the other team builds confidence in Jack. You've seen what happened there. Luton played their first game in the Premier League, actually got their first ever Premier League goal. Congratulations them there. But they didn't play this week. I like to think surely Chelsea have to get the job done here. And I just don't think it's important not just only to win, Jack. I think it's to win with a big statement. A couple players filling up their boots and getting some goals in. I'm going to say Chelsea are going to have a confident win. I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea.
3-0. Yeah, look, I want to give a quick shout out to my guy James Ward-Prowse for joining a team that suits him down to the ground. 2 assists. I think it was like his first corner he ever took for West Ham ended up being a goal. That man on set pieces is insane. Marrying him with David Moyes is kind of nice. But yeah, James, look, you said all the right things. I'm going to be a pretty vehement defender of the likes of Mudryk, Noni Madueke, these kinds of guys. I think that when they piece things together, and I do think it's a matter of time. I don't think it's not if. I do think it's when people are going to be sorry, and I hope everybody's got the receipts ready for it because I think it will be very special. Moises Caicedo is not an 100 million, 120 million pound football player, guys. He's not. He's nice, and he's a starter for Chelsea, and I think he'll have a nice little career. But this is not going to be the saviour of your team. I'm going to go a little more conservative. I do have Chelsea winning, but I do think the extra bit of rest, the extra bit of prep, and also how dysfunctional Chelsea seem from the outside is just going to help them a little bit. I do have Chelsea winning, but I do think it will be 2-1. Bournemouth versus Spurs. James, with Iraola and just generally the way I think Bournemouth are going to play, I've got to be honest with you, I was really tempted to go for something mad like a 3-3 here. I really was. I was very tempted to do it. I just think that the finishing of both sides might let them down. So I do think there'll be a lot of chances, a lot of turnovers. This will be a really, really exciting football match to watch. I do have it as a draw, though, 1-1 Bournemouth against Spurs. Who have you got in this one, especially seeing as Bournemouth are at home?
Bournemouth at home does kind of swing the pendulum one way, but Spurs impressed me against Manchester United, Jack. It wasn't great for the whole of it, but Jack, when they did get on top of Manchester United, they really did stayed on top. And Jack, they played some really, really nice stuff there. If I'm being honest, I was going to sit on the fence and join you there, but I just think Spurs are going to have a little bit more. And especially with the attack of input, and then hopefully they can get a player like Son going. I'm going to say 3-1 Tottenham.
3-1 Tottenham there. James, we're going to stay with you. Arsenal back at the Emirates. Fulham coming to town. Who have you got in that one? Fulham, who might, James, be without Mitrovic, because I think that deal is going to be confirmed pretty soon.
I think he's more like he said he wasn't going to play for the club. I doubt he's going to play anyway. Fulham, Fulham. Oh, 1 second, Jack. Sorry. The Fulham lost, right?
Let me find it on here.
Yeah, Jack. They got battered 3-0.
Yep, against yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go from here. 1, 2, 3. Well, Jack, Fulham got absolutely battered against Brentford, and now they're going to have a nice little another London trip against my team, a team that was unbeaten last year in London games. Also, we beat Crystal Palace today, Jack. Again, I just can't see Arsenal losing right now, and in the way we're playing defensively, we look very, very strong today. The game against Nottingham Forest wasn't so. But I just think right now we have that confidence about us, and we're going for the title. This has to be a victory. I like to think it's not going to be as boom squeaky as it was last year. I can see us being a bit more comfortable. I'm going to say another, Jack. For some reason, I love the threes right now. I'm going to say another 3-1.
I got 2-0. Again, I've really not been particularly impressed with Arsenal, but James, it's 2 wins out of 2. And I think it's going to be 3 wins out of 3. Again, I don't think it's going to be impressive, but what do we know about teams that win the league? They put points on the board. And I think that that's what this Arsenal side are capable of. I'm going to kind of copy you here a little bit. I think, James, you tweeted this. This is the game that we had today, the game against Nottingham Forest. These were games that Arsenal were losing over the last, however many years. Whereas now, this year, last year, these are the kinds of games that Arsenal are winning. And these are the kinds of games that make Arsenal potential title challengers. So 2-0 for me. I don't think Arsenal are going to be still anywhere near their best, but a home victory, 2-0. And again, clean sheet, confidence grows. And then when they start actually playing well, then we can start seeing things a bit more convincing. I'm gonna still take it away here. Brentford versus Crystal Palace. Really interesting game. I really struggled with this one. Went back and forth because, James, I think I always underestimate Palace. I do. I really think I do. And then sometimes I think I overestimate Brentford. So it was a tricky one for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of wimped out here a little bit. I got a 1-0 victory here for Brentford. But I'll be honest. Palace win, draw, Brentford win. I could see this going any way.
Two teams, Jack, that when they want to be, they can be entertaining. We've got some fantastic players on show that people enjoy watching. But as I said, another London derby. But the one thing I realized, Jack, Brentford, there's something about them. There's even with a player like Ivan Toney out, Jack. The fact that they won, the fact that they're unbeaten, Jack, in their first 2 games is very, very impressive. Against Fulham and Tottenham, that's so impressive to have 4 points. Incredible there. Just like you, Jack, I see them finding a way and winning this game, and I'm going to say 2-1 Brentford.
2-1, James. We'll stick with you in this kind of snake order we got going. Everton look woeful, destined for the drop, but they might get some respite at home with Wolves coming to town. How do you see this one going? Because I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of struggled with this one too.
I struggle with it and I have my hands to my eyes because I just want to get rid of Everton, if I'm being truthfully honest, Jack. Yep. They're just they need to go down. They really, really, really do need to go down. The fact that they've been hovering around the relegation zone for the last 2-3 seasons, you know what that means long term in the Premier League. Hopefully it is this year. I'm gonna think Wolves are gonna get a bit cheeky here, Jack. I think I'm gonna say, I know that they struggle to score a goal, Jack, but I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-0 win for Wolves. Granted, they did lose 4-1 against Brentford, but Brentford are an unbelievable team. Brighton are an unbelievable team right now, but I'm going to say that they're going to be able to just nick it against the Everton side, who are struggling confidence-wise.
Yeah, I got 2-0 for Wolves. Again, you look at Cunha, you look at Kalacic, and you look at Fabio Silva. James, those are nice striker options. And at certain points in their careers, you were looking at big tens of millions of pounds moves into the top teams within world football in terms of what they were linked. I still think one of them's going to hit at some point. My biggest supporter there would be for somebody like Sasa Kalacic, and I think that midfield and that wide play will be able to support a striker like him. But after his injury, it was horrible. And James, for a man of his size and his frame, not easy to get back to that kind of spot. It's kind of easy when you're not carrying a lot of weight on those joints. But James, that is a big man. I want to say, is he 6'6", 6'7"? That is a huge, huge human being. So him getting back to his best, him getting confident again is going to be tough. I do think, though, they're the better footballing side, and I do think that at some point one of those 3 attackers is going to show as getting a bit of a goal output, and my money would be for Kalacic. So I'm going to go 2-0 for Wolves to beat Everton there and just kind of really hammering home how bad Everton are at the moment. Manchester United against Forest. Manchester United, it's kind of weird because So many things look really good for Manchester United. You see turnovers in midfield, chances, big chances, all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of positive metrics as it relates to Manchester United. But James, what's the biggest test that they failed so far this season? The eye test. It doesn't look good. The Wolves game was a bit of a joke, really, just kind of walking through people. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch the Spurs game in full. I only caught the highlights and saw some of the stats, but again, a lot of it didn't look very good, especially in midfield. I do think Rasmus Højlund, when he starts playing, gives a focal point to this team. I wonder if it will be against Nottingham Forest. And James, I think we're going to do a video on it shortly. The Marcus Rashford number 9 thing has to stop. It does not work. And I do think that Eric Ten Hag will figure that out this week. Maybe we'll see Anthony Martial, maybe Jadon Sancho will do this false 9 thing that everybody's been talking about. I do think Man United against Forest, especially at Old Trafford, are the much better team. So I'm going to go 3-1 Man United beating Forest. Who have you got?
I don't think the result is as important, Jack, more than the performance. As right. You know, obviously they want to win, but Manchester United need a performance. The fans need to leave that stadium and feel, we played some good stuff today. I can see a bit from Mason Mount. Bruno's finally clicking. Casemiro got a set goal today. Rashford got a few goals under his belt. Anthony, can he do something? A performance needs to happen, because in the first 2 games, Jack, it's been a bit of a struggle. They got battered against Wolves and somehow found a way to win it. Tottenham, they were good for 45 minutes, but the rest of it was quite poor, and when Tottenham got on top, they couldn't quite turn it around. They need a good 90-minute performance, because if that's the case and they go to Old Trafford and they struggle against the Nottingham Forest, the fans are going to get on their backs. And Jack, you know what's that like. You know how big that stadium. You know what the pressures are like. A lot of them players, especially recent players, have struggled with that sort of environment there. But I like to think that they can surely put on a performance. Fair play to Nottingham Forest getting their first win of the season against Sheffield United. But I'm going to say Manchester United are going to win it 3-1. I'm going for loads of 3-1, Jack.
Hey, maybe it will be the score. Maybe it will be the score of the week. James, we're going to stay with you. Brighton, unbelievably impressive, and West Ham coming off that victory against Chelsea. Who have you got in that one?
Brighton are playing something different, Jack. Matoma is just, listen, what they are doing as a team right now is so impressive. Ferguson, they got so much to look at. I'm thinking last year, okay, they were good, but sure they're not going to continue with this year. They just lost Caicedo. Like, what's going on? And they're doing this, Jack. The way that they beat that Wolves team was what they're doing is incredible. West Ham, big win against Chelsea, but I wouldn't say that they played well. But right now it's Brighton, Jack. They're irresistible, and it's not they're going to win because I think they're easily going to win. It's by how many goals. I'm going to say...
I know what you're going to say. 3-1. Everyone
knows 3-1.
Is that actually
I was trying to resist. I was trying to resist. I was going to say 4-1, but I was like, they're not going to go back-to-back for 4 goals. Let's go 3-1 again.
One of these 3-1s is going to hit and you're going to get 2 points. I can feel it. But look, James, I am going to go 4. I am. I'm going to say something and a lot of people might be like, shock jock, clickbait, whatever. Like, James, this is the best team in the Premier League. Like, right now, this is the best team in the Premier League. Now, we need to see Brighton play Arsenal. We need to see Brighton play Manchester City. We need to see Brighton play Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. But at the moment, this is the best team in the Premier League. And this is also, James, the best run football team in the world. That I'm way more confident about. But they're insane, James. I think you can pull anybody out of that team, and whichever player from wherever the hell they get them from, the recruitment team finds, is going to do just as good a job. So yeah, as much as I do have Brighton really kind of twisting the knife there against West Ham, again, James Ward-Prowse and that delivery, the set pieces, I do think it's dangerous enough for West Ham to pose a threat and get 1 goal. So 4-1 for me. Burnley versus Aston Villa. Burnley haven't really come in the same way that I thought they would, and I'm glad that I've got my final table prediction coming out after the transfer window, because I might have Burnley drop in a few spaces. I think the intensity of the league and the quality of the league has maybe caught them a little bit by surprise. They aren't playing the way I thought they would. Villa, though, obviously apart from that game against Newcastle where they actually played quite well, Villa looked the real deal, and I actually quite like what Villa have going forward. I think it will be tricky, but I got Villa winning that one 2-1 against Burnley. Who have you got, James?
Jack, the way Villa played. Like the way that they played against Newcastle, Jack, was very good, but it just somehow it was strange. They just fell apart, which
Yep.
I just couldn't understand. But Jack, they showed their real head against Everton. Leon Bailey was irresistible there, and just having players like Ollie Watkins and all that there. As we said, Jack, at the start of the season, they were building a really, really, really strong team.
Yep.
But I like to think that Burnley, this is their second game in the Premier League. I don't want to judge them off their first game against the champions, because it is the champions. But I like to think that they can get something out of it, of this game. So I'm going to sit on the fence here, and I'm going to say 1-1, Jack.
1-1. James, we'll stick with you. Sheffield United welcoming Manchester City coming to town. Just been beaten by Forest. Here comes Man City. What are Sheffield United going to do here, if anything?
This is just written an Erling Haaland hat trick there. This is a game where he likes to fill his boots. This is a one for him right now. Sheffield United, I haven't seen much of them. I'm not gonna lie. Not a team I've taken a big kindling to, like a look at, but it's Manchester City. The way that they're playing, Jack, the first 2 games of the season, they haven't conceded a goal. They look defensively solid. I'm gonna say, Jack, 4-0 Manchester City with an Erling Haaland hat trick.
I got 3. Yeah, look, much better team. I don't think it matters if it's the Etihad or at Bramall Lane. I think this is just, there's a team that's so much better than the other team. I don't think you need Pep Guardiola or the squad they have. It's just a better football team. The clean sheet, a little bit questionable, but, you know, James, there's got to be a couple of teams that keep clean sheets per week, and I was having a look, and I think I need one more, and Man City might be that team for me. Obviously, Aymeric Laporte going as well. Very, very interesting news there, him going to Saudi Arabia, but I don't think it's going to stop anything. He's hardly been their most important defender over the last couple of years. So, yeah, 3-0 for me on that one. James, final game of the week, and kind of nice that this is a blockbuster once again. Newcastle United, Liverpool. I think this is a statement game for Newcastle. I think there's going to be space, and I don't know how much respect Liverpool are going to give at St James's Park, and I think they should give more respect than they probably will. I think Newcastle will be able to take advantage of the space here. I got Newcastle beating Liverpool 3-1, James. Who have you got in this one?
I feel like one thing that we seem to pay not attention to is Newcastle's ability to underperform in big games, Jack. I've seen on too many occasions against Arsenal in both. Granted, they got a draw at the Emirates, but wasn't great from them. Both games against Manchester City, they got a draw, but the game at the Etihad, they were poor. Even like the cup final against Manchester United, they just didn't rise to the occasion. Liverpool beat them in back-to-back games last season, so it's a thing, just a bit of barrier for them to kind of hit. I'm gonna sit on the fence here. Both teams, when they do play, you know, attack going forward, they can be just blistering to watch, especially Liverpool without attack. But I'm going to sit on the fence here. I think it's going to be lots of goals. I'm going to say 2-2, Jack.
2-2. I like it. Right, oh, hang on. It'd be good if I actually put this in. Cool. Guys at home, let's see your predictions. How are you getting on against me and James? As I told you from earlier, I'm on 16. James is on 14. So a little bit of a gap starting to appear, which I'm going to try and extend into next week. But hopefully you're playing along with us. Drop it in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you like what you've seen as well. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. James, anything else from you, mate?
I'm interested in nil-nils, Jack. Hopefully we are right there, and it's going to be 10 straight games with just all goals. And to be fair, Jack, in the last Premier League game, there was no nil-nil. So
that's true. So maybe we've got something going on here. Hopefully
it stays like that.
Guys, like, share, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. And until next time, we will see you.